for C plat, right?
Right.
Again, that's all I'm thinking right now. I'm not even worried about the hill. I'm worried about let's get spawns and let's get C plat control.
Yeah.
So that long haul push is we're trying to fight out of maybe arguably the hardest place versus an easier place, which is top glass.
Good call on this one.
Yeah,
just because
A kind of
because we're just fighting in A rather than pushing this long haul and getting C plat control together.
Yeah, so A kind of sucks for pushing out of. Basically, it's really easy for your entire team just to look at one spot, right? Because they only have like bottom mangler door, and then they also only have top overhang. Even if your team gets into like bottom white is just like the worst spot to be in. It's so enclosed and encapsulated in there. You can just throw like 3 nades in there and it's just like your entire shields are gone. You'll get cleaned up 100%. So yeah, for this bottom mid hill, the best place to be is actually C plat. And then obviously you would want to control top gold. And then you'd want to like force all the spawns into elevator, obviously, because elevator is like
it's okay for maybe one person to be A. There was a rule I had when I was competing, and it's the first 2 that spawn up stick to each other like glue. So you and I, since we're the 2 first up, we just literally hug each other into a play. And then the third player kind of takes up that middle ground. So maybe the third player would go top glass while we're pushing long. And maybe that fourth player would go bat ledge. And that gives us a really good angle on all of the map.
Yeah.
And it gives us a chance to start pushing towards.
If your team just wiped and you're only 2 up, like if you split up, it's so hard for you to do anything by yourself. So yeah, you would want to stick together with your teammate as much as possible because their team is trying to control spawn. So if you guys are caught out 1 on 2, both of you guys, like if both the people are caught out 1 on 2, you'll just die and you'll just stagger spawns and they'll have more time. So yeah, if you're wiped and the first 2 people that spawn up, you should be walking around together until like your next people spawn up. See, there's nothing really that's super rigid like this because you can't really expect ranked arena players to do everything by the book, right? So it's more of like you have to adapt. But since they're calming, it makes sense.
C plat.
Just think about sticking together. Is that specific to recharge? Or is that like any map?
Every map.
Interesting.
There's no map where that really doesn't apply, which is a really big thing to point out, right? Like we don't desperate. You wait for me to like get into a place where I can do something rather than some people would just fly out and start doing damage right there.
I would do that because I don't give a fuck.
You get like a good pinch, which is exactly why I would want somebody in here, you know? Like
I mean, you got the hills, so
like
it's whatever, but yeah, fundamentally
you want to be really careful standing there for too long.
Thoughts on
battery
the
spawn? We love that.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, battery.
How do you play out of that?
When you spawn battery, you just gotta
my first
get
reaction
into
as soon as
cover.
I get here is to jump up there and go.
Yeah, you got into cover, bro.
I immediately look to get to the high ground. If
like you either go get into cover ASAP, or you like just dish out as much damage as possible because that spawn kind of sucks.
The ward's like such a YOLO type play. Like I think I know he's weak, and then I.
A rule I used to say is camo's never worth dying for. So if you have a high chance of dying to grab camo, it's not worth it. But yeah.
This is basically just giving up the hill here. Like, what do you think would have been the best play in this situation? Is just play my life?
I'm going to sound like a broken record. I would have been taking up map. I would have probably bailed on camo because I have 2 teammates here. I would have been getting top glass.
I wouldn't have seen those 2 teammates. I mean, maybe he did. Oh no, he knew.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he knew. Yeah, no, you're right. I would have just fucking went through red.
And then Jabatlet, instead of taking the same angle as your teammates, you're right now.
It sucks about camo is that it's barely even a power
that the enemy spawns here, which is where we want them to be spawning. Because I just died, I would not want to be playing for my teammates' spawn. Like, where am I going to spawn miss the car if I stand here? Or you're going to spawn me A, right? Or pipes at best.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. What I would have done is you run around with your team and you kill them. Now just play. 8s together are not strong, bro.
We don't have either of that right now.
Not in white. Not in bottom white. Not when they just permanate you.
But we could have had both of them spawning.
Is this what you guys think of like the entire time? My brain is so small. Holy crap. I just run around and kill people.
This guy wouldn't be your long hard. He'd be top A, probably going to tower. And because Mortali's right here and you're right here, I'd probably be spawning one of those awkward spawns where, you know, you're spawning away from your team. So again, like taking away the outlines, like you know where they're spawning, right? Or you know where they're where the push is coming from. Since you're spawning C, you know the push isn't coming long. there's and then shoot you in the back. So
You
let's see
you
if
don't
that
have to
happens you.
necessarily
I have a
push
tendency to do
anything.
this. Oh yeah, that. Yeah. Okay. Well.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Too
you can
way
just
too
stand there.
If I play that safely from the box.
So like what I do is I just like, you'll see a lot of my videos, but I literally, if I know where they're gonna spawn, I just stand still and like wait for them to walk into my crosshair, because it's pretty predictable on what's gonna happen.
I don't.
But once again, it's always hard in game to actually apply these things. Like you can talk about all you want in hindsight, but actually applying it in game, like in the heat of the moment, is a lot more difficult.
Mind the play. Ideally, I know you are the movement god, the movement king, but this is getting you killed a few times where you want to G-side so much that you're jumping on top.
I said the same thing. I said, dude, Shyway, every time I'm watching Shyway, he is fucking sliding everywhere. He is curve sliding, flying across the entire map every time. I'll be in a game with or against him, right? And I'll die and I'll spectate him and I'll be like, yo, this dude is just this guy's just flying around the map. I'm glad
Papa things?
I'm glad that Lakar actually went over that, because yeah, he's just like he fucking flies around the map. I mean, I get it, it's fun, dude, so whatever. I'll do the same.
There was a wise quote from the very famous and wise RYANOOB. And it's when you are playing the objective, especially if you're down a number, you don't go looking for the fight.
I just like how he like pops out.
To you, right? So in this situation, you are looking for it. You're looking for a fight.
Will I actually do it in game? Here's hoping.
Yeah, like I said, the application is a lot more difficult than you think it is. In hindsight, it's always
fun.
it's always like, in hindsight you can always talk about it and be like, yeah, that's just like, yeah, duh, that's what you do. But in application, it's like a lot different. This is a good video though. I like that.